So, my dear viewers, this is just a regular checkup, just a normal blood pressure measuring. So, I have got systolic and diastolic. So, systolic is 120 and diastolic is 80. So, it is completely normal. Now, what is this? We will see in this video. So, be with the video and watch till the end, and we will discuss what is this machine called, how we measure it, what we can find out, and what is this blood pressure. So, to watch. Namaskar, hello everyone, and welcome back to Gyanyatri Rupraj. So today we are going to discuss the third life processes, that is transportation. And in today's video we will discuss transportation in human beings. So transportation in human beings, for this, as human are very complex organisms. So likewise in nutrition process or in respiration process there was an organ system. In the same way, we human has human circulatory system for transportation process. Yes, and this human circulatory system is consist of these three things which you are seeing: blood vessels, and heart. So we will discuss one by one. First we will discuss the blood. Blood, it is the connective tissue, as you have studied in class 9. So this blood is a fluid, right? This blood is a fluid. This blood is composed of plasma and blood corpuscles. Plasma and blood corpuscles. The plasma is consist of mainly water. It contains around 95% of water, and along with that it consists of organic and inorganic substances like food, waste materials, oxygen, whatever, etc, etc, whatever present, these all are present in the plasma, right? Organic and inorganic substances. Blood corpuscles are again classified into three categories: RBC, WBC, and platelets. Water and inorganic, organic substances forming a plasma. Plasma is the fluid area, and these all are the cells, right? RBC, which is called red blood cell or red blood corpuscles, then WBC, white blood corpuscles, and then platelets are there. RBC, the function of RBC is to carry oxygen. The main function of RBC is to carry oxygen from lungs to the parts of the body or the cells of the body. Main function. WBC, it is helping in defense mechanism, right? It is helping in defense mechanism. If any virus, bacteria, if it comes enter into the body and it may cause diseases, so WBC, it helps in protecting us from that. Now the function of platelets, if we get injured, if we are playing and if we get injured, or if we get cuts, bruises, and if bleeding starts, so when bleeding starts, these platelets come into the play. What it do? It stop bleeding. Right? By coagulation. By clotting, not coagulation, clotting. So we called it as blood clotting. So blood clotting process happens because of the platelets. So it stops bleeding by clotting process, right? So these are the function of this blood, right? So next we will see the blood vessels. blood vessels are classified into three categories. First, arteries, then veins, and then capillaries. So in three categories the blood vessels has been classified. So blood vessels are those vessels which carry bloods, right? Those which carry bloods, and it is divided into three groups based on the function and structure. If we see arteries, the arteries are having very thick and elastic walls. The arteries are having very thick and elastic walls. What it do? It carry oxygenated blood, means which contains the oxygenated blood to cells away from the heart. It carries the oxygenated blood to the cells, different parts of the body, right, away from the heart. That's why, because the heart pump the blood which is having more pressure. Because of that, to exert the pressure, to sustain the pressure, it has thick walls and elastic walls, right? And this is what the role of arteries. But if we see the case of vein, in vein the walls are not thick, right? Not thick. They are not having a thick wall. Why? Because they are bringing the blood from the cells, right? So they carry deoxygenated blood. They carry deoxygenated blood from cells. So they are not getting the pressure from the heart. So they are carrying it, they are bringing it to the heart and then going to the lungs. Like this is happen. That's why it is not having, but it is not thick, having not thick wall. But it has valves, right? It has valves. The valves helps in the backward, helps in opposing backward flow of bloods, right? It helps in stopping or opposing the backward flow of bloods, right? That's why it has the valves, whereas in this arteries valves are not present. Now the case of capillaries. Capillaries are very smallest vessels. These are the smallest vessels, right? These are the smallest vessels. These smallest vessels are having thin walls and pores. Why it has thin walls and pores? Actually, the arteries, when it goes and near the cells, it get divided. It get divided and it becomes it contains very thin walls and pores, due to which the exchange of materials takes place. Exchange of materials takes place. Exchange of materials between what? From blood to the cells, or cells to the blood. Because blood helps in transportation. Whatever materials required for the cells, it transport that, food, oxygen, whatever it is. So that exchange, and then if it is waste materials has to come out, the waste materials comes to the blood. So this exchange takes place by the help of capillaries, right, between the blood and the vessels. That's why it is very thin and the smallest one. And then again it get combined together and forms the veins and then it's combined, right? So these are the three classification of the blood vessels. So there is another fluid helps in transportation, and that is called lymph. Lymph is also known as tissue fluid. It is also helpful in transportation process. This lymph is generally colorless. The blood which is colored, that is red color, but this lymph is colorless. And this lymph specially carries plasma, proteins, blood cells, absorb fats. What happened actually, This lymph is present in the lymphatic vessels. But from where it comes, where it brings all these things? The capillaries, from capillaries, some of the plasma proteins, blood cells, it get leaked out, right? And then when it get leaked out, it goes to the connecting to the lymphatic vessels, and these all are present in the spaces, intercellular spaces, right? So there is the reason which is where the blood vessels can't reach, this lymphatic vessels reaches. So that there the lymphatic vessels present, and from the fats, absorbed fats, that is which is getting absorbed in the intestine, that fats also goes into the intercellular spaces through these lymphatic vessels. So likewise this lymph helpful in transportation also. Again, if it has to be required in the blood vessels, again it will transport it to the capillaries, and then from this it will enter into the blood vessels. Likewise this lymph is also very helpful. Now we will see the third organ in the human circulatory system, that is heart. So here we will see the structure and the function of the heart, and this is what the structure of the heart, it looks like this. This heart is, it's actually made up of muscle which we call cardiac muscle, and this cardiac muscle is branched and intercalated, having intercalated disc, which we have already studied in class 9. The size is approximately 2 fists in adult, whereas in infant it is 1 fist approximately size. The human heart is composed of 4 chambers. Yes, it's composed of 4 chambers, and these are having right side and the left side. The right and the left side is again divided into upper and lower chamber. The right upper one is atrium, and the right lower one is known as right ventricle. And same, the upper one in the left side is left atrium, and the lower one is left ventricle. This right side and left side is separated with wall which we called septum. So this right side and left side is separated with this wall. Yes, so this is which we call septum. Now these chambers are there is because it avoid the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated means oxygen rich blood, and deoxygenated means carbon dioxide rich blood. So why this does do this, we will see. Now what happened, you can see here valve also, right? This you can see the valve which is present, like one valve is present between right atrium and right ventricle. This is which we call tricuspid valve, and same mitral valve or bicuspid valve is present between left atrium and left ventricle. And in the same way you can see pulmonary valve in pulmonary artery also, and aortic valve in the aorta. Now what does it do? It prevents the backflow of the blood, right? So the blood will not go back when it will contract, so it avoid the backflow, so preventing it. Now we will see the function of the heart. Now what is this function? The main function is it helps in circulation of the blood, and as it is a pumping organ, it circulates the blood throughout the body. So from heart, if we take the heart and position of the heart, from that, the from upper part of the body, the blood which is comes, right, deoxygenated, here deoxygenated blood comes from the tissue. So it, when it comes, it will come through the superior vena cava, right? It will enter in from the superior vena cava, and from the lower part of the body it comes through the inferior vena cava. Yes. Now it will both the blood will enter into the right atrium. The deoxygenated blood will enter into the right atrium from the tissue, right? And when it will enter into the right atrium, after the contraction, it will goes to the right ventricle. From right atrium, it will goes to the right ventricle through this tricuspid valve, right? And then again, when it will contract, the blood, deoxygenated blood from right ventricle, it will go to the lungs through this pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery, through this it will reach to the lungs, okay? And there we know that the exchange of gases takes place, as we have already studied in the respiration process. So pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries the deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and there carbon dioxide will be given out to the alveoli, and from there oxygen will be taken in the from the alveoli in the blood.
Now when the oxygen will be taken up by the blood, which where hemoglobin is present, that hemoglobin will carry that oxygenated blood, and it will come to the heart through this pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein is the only vein which carries the oxygenated blood from the lungs, right? So it is carrying the oxygenated blood, and this oxygenated blood will come enter into the left atrium. From left atrium it will contract and it will go through mitral valve to the left ventricle. Yes, left ventricle. Now from this left ventricle it will go to the body tissue through this aorta, right? Through this aorta it will reach to the body tissue in the different body parts. Likewise the circulation takes place, and as we know that oxygen is required to the tissue for the respiration energy purpose, that's why it has to go there. Okay, birds and mammals have chambers to separate this oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, as because they need high energy, and this high energy is useful in maintaining the body temperature. The same case is not found in the amphibians or reptiles, as they have only three chambers, two atria and one ventricle. With this they don't depend on maintaining the body temperature, they mainly depend on the environment for maintaining the body temperature. So with the rise in the body temperature, environmental temperature, the body temperature also get risen up, right? So it mostly depend on that. In the same way the fishes also have two chamber, one atrium and one ventricle, so they also can tolerate the mixing of the blood, and they also depend on the environment for that purpose. Now you have already studied about the cold-blooded and warm-blooded, as because they maintain a constant body temperature. These birds and mammals, they are warm-blooded, whereas the amphibians, reptiles or fishes, these all are cold-blooded because they depend mainly on the environment for the body temperature. Acha, the fishes have two chambers. That's why what happened here, single circulation takes place. What is single circulation? Single circulation means the blood will pass through the heart once in a cardiac cycle. That is what single circulation. But double circulation takes place in other organism, where blood pass through the heart twice in a single cardiac cycle. Means once it will come into the from the tissue to the heart, again it will go back to the lungs. The same blood comes from the lungs to the heart, and then it will go back to the tissue. That's why it is double circulation. So I hope you have understand this topic. We will move to the next topic.
So viewers, I said I will discuss about this instrument. So I have shown you the name sphygmomanometer. So sphygmomanometer is we use to measure the blood pressure. What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is the force which is exerted by the blood when it moves in the vessels, so against the walls of the vessels. This is what we call blood pressure. Blood pressure, as you have heard in the starting of the video, that blood pressure there it was said as systolic and diastolic. Systolic is the contraction of the heart, and diastolic is the relaxation of the heart. So the normal measurement we do is with this sphygmomanometer. So I have a manual sphygmomanometer and a digital sphygmomanometer. So both has the same common reading, standard reading. It is said 120 mm of Hg. So here the mercury is present. So this mercury is used as a standard for measuring the blood pressure. So 120 mm of Hg in comparison of the Hg is the mercury. So in comparison of that, 120 is standard systolic pressure and 80 is the diastolic, which is the relaxation of the heart, which is the normal. So 120 by 80 mm of Hg is the normal blood pressure, it is commonly said. So manual, here we in this manual procedure the stethoscope is used. Okay, the stethoscope is used and this sphygmomanometer is used. This cuff has been wrapped up in the hand, arm, right, and then with this pumping we increase the mercury, and then with this it is getting relaxed, released. So slowly when it comes, we can hear a sound dub dub here, right? Dub dub sound we can hear when we will put it. So from starting when the sound will start and when it will get finished, that is the starting is the systolic, and when the sound will get over, that is the diastolic. Here in digital case, it is very simple. We just have to put this curve and we have to switch on it, and then it will automatically take the reading. Here sys means systolic, di means diastolic. Okay, you can see. So sys and di, and then this below pulse is there, right? So systolic, diastolic and pulse rate, these three things will come digitally, right? Like this we can measure using this digital sphygmomanometer or the manual sphygmomanometer. So generally the person who suffers from the high blood pressure, means from the normal if it get increased, so that type of person is actually suffering from hypertension. And if anyone is having low blood pressure, that is we call hypotension. That's it from today's video, and I hope you have understand, you have learned it. Like, subscribe and share it. So we will meet you in the next video, and do subscribe. Please do subscribe and click on the bell ring. Thank you.